Good morning. Several years ago, I had the pleasure of singing with my church choir that beloved musical Celebrate Life. The musical, you may be aware, follows the life and ministry of Jesus. While singing this music was an incredible experience, one moment in particular disturbed me greatly. See, the most difficult part of this choral piece has nothing to do with the music. The most difficult part of the musical comes when the score and script have the choir play the role of the angry crowd surrounding Jesus in his final days. The choir, during that scene with Jesus and Pilate, is supposed to shout chants of "Kill him" and "Crucify him." I have to tell you, I could hardly form those words. The gospel accounts of Jesus' final days, and particularly the account of Good Friday, these are surely among the most painful passages of Scripture. For one thing, the details are gruesome. There's another reason these scriptures are painful. I think it is because when we read them honestly, we can find ourselves in the story. We can find ourselves there in the crowd. And as much as I would love to be counted among Jesus' loyal followers, I'm afraid I might have deserted or denied him just as his friends did. As much as I'd love to believe that I would have stuck by his side to the very end, I'm not so sure. Considering my own place in the crowd when Jesus was beaten and killed causes me to think of that beautiful but perhaps haunting spiritual "Were you there?" So at this moment, I'd like to bring in Bob Gallagher, our minister of music, to talk about this piece of music with me. Good morning, Bob.
Morning, Daniel.
How are you?
Very well. Great.
Good. Bob, can you fill in some of the blanks? Talk with us a little bit about this famous spiritual, its significance to Good Friday, and how it really came to be popular.
Well, there are inherent qualities of both the music and the story, the text of this hymnal, that make it just a universally important hymn for us, a hymn or spiritual for us to know. It outlines a story that we should all understand, the idea of whether we can personally put ourselves in the place of those who are present throughout the story of the crucifixion and the removal to the tomb. So for that reason, it became the very first spiritual, African-American spiritual, to appear in a mainline hymnal, the 1940 hymnal of the Episcopal Church. It had been published in 1899 in a volume called Old Plantation Hymns, but its first appearance in a church hymnal was in 1940. In 1938, H.W. Gray published a setting by Harold Friedel, who would someday become the organist choir master at St. Bartholomew Church on Park Avenue in New York. And this hymn also, this spiritual, lends itself very well to be sung as a solo or as a choral piece because of its simplicity and yet the depth of feeling of the whole piece. So we'll be hearing a recording of the River Road Chancel Choir singing this spiritual in the arrangement by Harold Friedel.